What an absolutely humiliating performance for Madrid. And from a Barca fan, it was incredible, sensational, chef's kiss. We love it. I got up to do a watch along for this game, and I'm so glad I did. Living in Australia, it's 3 a.m. The game started. I had to get up at 2, and I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad I did because this was incredible. I loved every minute of it. Every minute. Firstly, the first half, I was smiling throughout the first half. The goals came in like the first 25 minutes. First three goals. First one came in like 5th minute, second, ninth minute, and then 26 minutes, I think. The third one went in. It was so good to watch from a Barca fan. But at the same time, it was, as a Barca fan, we don't like PSG or Madrid, but we don't like Madrid even more. And watching them crumble and get humiliated the way they did, it was very, very good to watch. And I'm glad I got up for it, and I'm going to give a match reaction. We'll start off with PSG. PSG, they have a system, a structure that no matter who's playing in any position, it doesn't make a big difference. Now, Pacho was missing in the center back, and I was thinking that might be a problem, but I didn't even notice a problem in the back line. Beraldo came in, and he just looked like he just, fit in a glove. Nothing changed. Madrid couldn't even get close to the goal. Yes, they had a couple chances. Yes, they did, but nothing threatening, nothing substantial. And the way PSG were just playing the ball around, it looks slow when they're playing, but as soon as they get that opening and they just kick it forward, and all of a sudden it looks like it's 3 players for PSG versus 2 players for Madrid out of nowhere. Like, how is this happening? And it doesn't help as well when you go 2 very mistake-prone center backs for Madrid in Asensio and Rudiger. It does not make it any better. First goal, Asensio's mistake. The ball is squared from, I think Desiree Doué squares the ball. Asensio, it goes literally to Asensio, and he takes the most horrendous touch I've ever seen. It falls in the path of Dembele. Dembele takes it away from him, tries to go around the keeper. Courtois takes his leg off, and then it falls in the path of Fabian Ruiz, and he just buries it. If he didn't score it, it would have been a penalty. That's the first goal. Just like that, 1-0. And I'm thinking, oh, well. Oh, damn. It's about to be a long one. And then within 4 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes, I'm not sure exactly how this happens, but the ball is coming to Rudiger. He misses it completely. Dembele just runs past him, runs towards goal, and just places it in the bottom left corner. I'm like 2-0. I was like, what just happened? What did I just see? The game started off so slow, but after the first goal went in, it was just hectic for Madrid. And within another, 15 minutes, PSG scores a third. And I'm just like, it's going to be a long, long, long day for Madrid. I think I've realized the big problem for Madrid, especially in this game, is their lack of pressing. And the main reason, is Kylian Mbappe. He's the problem. Yes, he's an incredible player. Don't get me wrong. He's an absolutely fantastic player. But his lack of pressing, his lack of defensive awareness or defensive abilities cost Madrid this game. In the previous games, Madrid was very, very intentional about their pressing. They want to press. They want to get the ball back. They want to play. Once they get the ball, they keep the ball. They can, quick 1-2. They were getting better. And I was thinking, as a Barca fan, like, oh well, Madrid is kind of, playing good football here, and it's gonna be, create some problems in the league for Barcelona. But from what I've just watched, if Mbappe is playing, it's easy to play around Madrid because they just don't press. And the main reason is Mbappe doesn't want to press. And if he doesn't press, Vinny won't press. Because Vinny's like, why should I run around when there's one player just standing around? Because they're just going to pass the ball around me. What's the point of me running around if they're just going to pass the ball around me? Don't get me wrong, Vinny didn't do anything in this game. He was just as bad as Mbappe. And then Gonzalo Garcia is just like, what am I supposed to do? You know? How is he supposed to do anything to be he can't be effective in a game where he doesn't have the ball? Because two of the front men that you're with, they don't want to press. And this is leaving a lot of gaps for Madrid in the back. Because you can't be, pushing your line higher and not pressing. Because that leaves you very, very vulnerable on the wings where, because you have wing backs or full backs, whatever, they're pushing high and he leaves three defenders at the back. On the wings is very open. That's most of the balls that PSG were penetrating through Madrid was on the wings, and then just cut it back or square it, and then that's it. It just, it was so easy for PSG, so easy. Doesn't help that you have Raul Asensio and Rudiger just making mistakes out of nowhere. But I predicted 3-1 in this game. But as soon as those 3 goals went in, I was like, yeah, scratch that 3-1. It's going to be definitely more than 5 goals. Lucky, very lucky that PSG took their foot off the gas in the second half. Otherwise, it would have been a more embarrassing scoreline than we've just seen. 4-1 was PSG being nice. I think it would have been way, way worse. If PSG came out in the second half and actually decided we want to score 3 more goals, they would have scored 3 more goals. There's no question about that. It's not because Madrid came back into the game. No. It was just PSG just took their foot off the gas. And Madrid thought they were back in the game, but I don't think that was the case. I think it was just PSG, the same way they played against Inter Miami, who actually, I think, played a little bit better than Madrid in the first half. But Inter Miami thought they did a little bit better in the second half. No. Don't get it wrong. PSG are taking their foot off the gas in the second half in these games. Because they already scored the goals they need. All they have to do is just make sure they don't concede. And that was it. It was so easy for PSG. And it was embarrassing defending, embarrassing work ethic, embarrassing attitudes from some of the players. There was a player where Mbappe has the ball and he's just outside the box. He's trying to dribble past the player. He loses the ball and PSG counter and he's walking back. He's just like throws his hands in the air, walks back, and PSG about to approach Madrid's, box, and Bellingham somehow recovers the ball, tackles, gets the ball back, and he's yelling, absolutely yelling at Mbappe for losing the ball and just not tracking back. His attitude is just so like, give me the ball. I'm the king here. Give me the ball. Like, I'm not doing all this running stuff. That's not what I came here for. And this is going to be the detriment of Madrid's season. If they keep playing Mbappe and Mbappe doesn't press like he should, like Xabi Alonso wants him to, then it's not going to work out for Xabi Alonso. If Mbappe plays with this attitude, it's not going to work out for Madrid. It's not going to work out the way they want it. Yes, they'll have games here and there where things work out, but in games that are important and crucial, big games like this, Clásicos, Champions League nights, if Mbappe doesn't pull his sleeves up and his socks up and says, let's go, it's not going to pan well for Madrid. I'm sorry, it's not. Excuse me. They've been playing well so far. I was actually impressed in how well and quickly they've adapted to this new system of pressing and keeping the ball. But it's not working when Mbappe is on the field. I'm sorry. He doesn't press. He doesn't like to press. He's a luxury player. He doesn't like to get involved in the dirty work. He's a player who he wants to be treated like a prince or princess, whatever. Feed me. I'm the one who should be getting all the glory, not, doing all the dirty work. I want to leave this field with my white kit still white. I don't want any green on me. I don't want to be slide tackling anywhere on the field. A good example is Kane in the last game, Bayern versus PSG. Kane is tracking back and making slide tackles and dropping back and helping the midfield and making like crucial passes, and Mbappe will never be that. Yes, he will score more goals than anyone in La Liga, but I'm sorry, he's not a player that I would want on my team. He's not a player I want on my team. Things might change. Don't get me wrong, things might change. But so far, from what I've seen from Mbappe, especially in this game, it's telling me that Mbappe does not want to do any dirty work whatsoever. And by dirty work, I mean like press and show like the urge to get the ball back, no matter where the ball is on the field. Track back. If the player is running on your side and you're the only player there who can stop him, run after him. Mbappe is not doing that. He's not doing that. He'll pretend, he'll jog and show that, oh, I'm about to go get, and then he just like leaves him. As soon as he goes past him, Mbappe is walking. And that was my main takeaway was Mbappe, and that was the reason why Madrid suffered a lot in this game. It was Mbappe not doing his job. Yes, Asensio, Rudiger made mistakes, but I feel like the pressure starts from the front. If you don't prevent the ball coming through the midfield and the back line, then you're leaving defenders like Asensio and Rudiger to make mistakes. You don't want that. Press. At least score a goal. One goal at least. Because if you press, you force players into mistakes. You saw Bayern. Bayern had better chances than Madrid tonight. They were far the better team on that night. I could go as far as saying they were a better team than PSG for most of that game. It was unfortunate that they couldn't bury their chances, but PSG, they're just lethal. They don't need that many chances. So look, Madrid needs to work something out. Mbappe needs to roll up his sleeves and try to help the team from the front. He doesn't have to be in the defense. He can help from the front. Start pressing. Start the press. Be the leader. Press and tell your other players to come with you. And Xabi Alonso's changing the system didn't help either. Dropping Mbappe back in the holding midfield role and then putting Valverde on the right back. I was a little bit shocked with the change of the system, just to fit Mbappe in there. He didn't have to. But then it doesn't help that Dean Huijsen is suspended, and then you got to put Raul Asensio, who's very mistake prone. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe. Comment what you thought of the game. What do you think of my take? Do you think I'm being harsh on Madrid? Do you think I'm being harsh on Mbappe? I don't think I'm being harsh. I think I'm just telling you how it is. I'm not being biased or anything. I saw the game how I saw it, and I'm just telling you how I saw it. As a Barca fan, I was praying for Madrid's downfall, but at the same time, I want to see a good game, and that was not a good game. Yes, PSG, yes, they won, yeah, but the Bayern PSG was a better game than this. I don't like seeing one-sided games. Even like the Champions League final was also one-sided. I don't like seeing games like that, especially in the latter stages of the competition, semi-finals, finals. You want to see teams that are very well matched, and it looked like Bayern and PSG was very well matched. But not this game. I'm sorry, not this game. Anyways, comment, like, subscribe. Peace.